Hey guys, this is a Creepypasta by yours truly. The Link with Red Eyes. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Played by millions, bought by the same. Loved across the regions. No one can find anything suspicious or creepy in this game. Except why the characters can take so much abuse without any blood or any repercussions. But hey, it's a Nintendo game. The point is, there's nothing off in this game. No one finds anything that would be considered creepy, except me. It seems that I, and I alone, seem to be the lucky bastard who got an off copy. What I found, hidden in the code of my game, was almost unspeakable. I mean, what if it wasn't me who found this? I mean, what if this was a 9 or 10-year-old boy or girl who got this for their birthday? I cringe every time I think of it. I cringe to think people out there could be so fucking cruel. But I'm getting off track. What did I find? Well, it all started when my friends and I played a few tournaments. It was the holidays, so my friends would frequent over at my house, and Brawl was always the game of choice. At least 3 hours of the time, we would play Brawls, tournaments, special Brawls, the whole lot. We even beat single player 5 times as a team. The KO counts were rising, and after getting comfortable with the game, we decided to have just random characters every time we played a Brawl. This made the game much more fun, because you never know what will happen, or who you, or the CPU will be. After one of my friends left, my other friend and I decided to continue playing one or more Brawl, before we changed to another game. Like Mario Kart or Mario Party 5, I guess. Yeah, we liked Mario games. After everyone was random, and the stage was selected, randomly of course, we were off to Castle Siege. I was Luigi, my favorite character. My friend was Ike, his favorite character. The CPU were a white furred DK and a Toon Link, black with red eyes. Toon Link was a little off. He had like little black pupils inside his red eyes. They looked like just the normal Evil Link's eyes, but they are on the Toon Link sprite because, as you may know, red-eyed Toon Link has no pupils, only this empty, slightly creepy void. But apart from this weird glitch, it all played normally, and my friend won. Oh well, my friend said. Want to play Mario Party 5? Sure, I said, reaching for the power button, but the game loaded another Brawl, and the stage too. I thought I must have leaned on my remote. That was a mistake. It was all the same. The characters, the stage, all the same as before. At the time, my friend and I thought that this was a huge blue moon coincidence, and we couldn't help but play because of that. This is where things went extremely wrong. The music slowed down, as did the characters. All except for Toon Link, his pupils becoming less like pixels and more like real eyes. Toon Link walked up to DK, who wasn't even moving. He thrust his sword right through DK. His screech was lower and deeper than the usual one. He fell. He didn't respawn, didn't disappear. He just laid there, like stamina mode. When you lose, you lay there, glowing red. Only, this wasn't stamina mode, it was just a normal Brawl. We were creeped out, no question, that this was not supposed to happen. This was not a glitch. This was something else. Our characters were now motionless, staring at Toon Link. It began to glow, like it had gotten a final smash. The sky darkened much more than usual. He got Ike in the final smash, but as he sliced, Ike's sprite began to fall apart. There were no organs, no blood, just Ike's sprite, falling apart, all over the place. At this point, we just stared at each other in amazement and fear. Get the camera, I said. But as my friend went to get the camera, Toon Link had grabbed Luigi's head and snapped it to a full 180 degrees. He collapsed as my friend got the camera. Ah, shit. The one SD card I owned was in the Wii, not in the camera. And besides, it was all over anyway. The victory screen showed, and everything was normal. We don't know what happened. It took about 2 hours to searching to find anything odd. We only found Toon Link's kills. 666. This is nuts, but my friend and I, we couldn't stop playing. We needed to play again and figure out what exactly is happening. It can't be haunted. It's just too far-fetched, and we had to find out more. We played for God knows how long. Minutes turned to hours, which turned to days, which turned into a solid week. Sleep was no longer a problem. We didn't need it. Work wasn't an issue. Neither of us cared if we got fired. We cut off all connection with our friends, our family. It was like my friend had become my adopted brother. I'm unsure if I can explain the feeling that came over us. It was like nothing else mattered. Nothing but this game. As characters were consumed by Toon Link's power, they'd stay beaten up, their model tired and worn, like we should have been. They were taking our load, our stress, and our obsession. 4 days in, characters soon became unplayable, replaced with a question mark as they do prior to their unlocking. Even starting characters would disappear. It's been 216 hours. What's the record for sleep deprivation? 11 days? As our micro-sleeps grew more frequent, we saw that the times for Brawl went for longer. Like the AI would wait for us. 5 live matches started lasting up to an hour, and what we thought was a blink could have been a good 5-10 minutes. We soon ignored each other when we fell asleep. We began to lock each other out. It was all the game. It's all the game. Nothing but the game. 250 hours, and only 3 characters remain. Toon Link, Luigi, and Ike. Link's eyes were like someone drew real eyes, like it was done by some sort of fucked up art students. Luigi and Ike were the only characters who had seemed to age and tire with my friend and I. They could barely bring out their attacks. We didn't pick stamina mode. We didn't move or attack. It did it all for us by now. As reality blurred with our own illusion, was any of this real? Reality feels like a dream, and dream feels like confusing nothingness. It's over. It won. The Link with the red eyes won. I picked up the cover of the game, and I started looking for the characters who were. I stared for hours. Was it hours? Time's nothing anymore. Toon Link's face now filled our screen, grinning and smiling. Its eyes, they seem so fucking real. They still do. James! I screamed, breaking the silence of the past 200 hours, the silence of all but the sounds of the game. Get the phone and call the police. Why, Mike? My friend asked. He seemed almost shocked and scared by the sound of my voice. Look! There, on Mario's cap, a camera. The tiniest hole. The camera was covered by the manual. I never look at manuals. Maybe if I did. The feeling I had that someone was watching us was right. We had proof that someone was screwing with us. I just hope this documentation stops them. If only I could get this out to anyone who would listen. Please! Someone! Help. Paranoia is the biggest killer. The following documentation was found in a room where 2 young adults were found by a local authority. The 2 people had taken a cyanide pill and were ruled as a suicide pact. The game was studied and the camera was found to have no feed. It never had a recording at all. Recall of the game was considered but later ruled out, due to this being an isolated incident. The people who have read this are torn on whether this was real, or just the boys' paranoia after having no sleep. I guess no one will know the truth of what happened those 9 days. Maybe it's for the best.